Good morning, everyone. Almost lunchtime here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning as we've had a marathon of trainings. My name is John Shoemaker from the Department of Educational Technology, and I will be joined shortly by Janice Wintermeyer from Canva, and we're going to talk about Canva for beginners and more. So even if you are just a more advanced user, you will hopefully get something out of this chat. And before we get started with some housekeeping, I'm going to put a poll over in the chat box. So a poll should have just popped up over in your chat. And just if you could just let us know how familiar you are with Canva. And all you have to do is just click one of the four options there from you're brand new and you've just logged in, or you've never logged in, you have logged in, and that's just about it. You've created a couple of things, and then you use it daily and love Canva. So we definitely want to see over there in the chat box where you guys are to help us better frame this training. As you guys are answering in the chat box with those questions, and we see we have a lot of brand new and just created a few things. Those look like the biggest. We'll leave it there for a minute as we go over our housekeeping. And so as a reminder, that chat box over there on the right is there for you to communicate with us and ask your questions. We want to know what you're learning, what you have learned, any aha moments, any questions. We have some moderators in the chat over there. They are the ones that have that little wrench next to their name. And as always, if you could just please go down there and give us a like and hit subscribe to the channel, we would love that. We've gained quite a few subscribers today from our trainings, and we love just seeing the likes. Also, next to your chat button, you should see hearts and all that kind of fun stuff. If you like something, please feel free to emote as well throughout the training to encourage your presenters. Also, while you're in the chat box, if you don't mind sharing what grade levels and subjects you work with in the chat now, so that Janice can see in the background while we're still reviewing these slides, what you teach and what grade levels you teach. So, and also if you want to share where you're from, what school, all of that, just let us know what grade levels for sure though. And as you may have seen, we have a marathon day today. After this session, we have two more. We have assigning Conmigo learner activities for secondary, and we have a session on Brain Pop, which is always popular as well. So Brain Pop will be for elementary and secondary as well. And the wonderful thing about this is all of those trainings before this one are still available and will be available on our YouTube channel. So when you're finished, even this session will be on our channel. So however you got here, you can use that same link to get to this video as a replay, which is great because then you can actually pause it and go step by step. You're going to get like a little manual that you can work through. So, you know, we hope to not go too fast, but there's always a way that you can then come through and rewatch the content. So lots of different, I've seen everything from K all the way up through adult. So that is all. We have a pre-K as well. So that's awesome. We have some translators. So we've got a great mix inside of the chat here. And so with that, I am going to bring up Janice Wintermeyer from Canva Education. And Janice, I would just let you know, I'll end the poll now. We have 45% brand new, never logged in. And we have 35, I think it was, 38% created a few things, 14 logged in, and that's about it. And only 2% have used Canva daily. So that kind of gives you a little bit of pretty much a beginner audience, which is wonderful. So go ahead and take it away, Janice.
Just before you go, or John, or somebody in the chat at least, make sure, especially because we have so many who are brand new and have never really logged in, make sure you can log into Canva. So can you let them know how they log into Canva through your single sign-on?
Sure thing. So you just go to mysdpbc.org, which is our portal, or it should be your homepage if you're on a district computer. All you have to do is go there, log into the district portal, and search for Canva. And when you search for that, it's a little blue icon with the word Canva that you had seen. It's like, I believe it should look like the one that's on this slide, but I'm not 100% sure. But you'll see Canva, and then that will automatically sign you in.
Perfect. Lovely. Thank you. So as we get started, definitely want to sign into Canva. that will be useful as we get going, and we'll create alongside today. So definitely want to log in as I kind of do a little bit of introduction, and then we will create together. All right, so quick introduction to me. My name's Janice. I'm a Canva learning consultant. So my main role with Canva is professional development. I'm so excited. I love working with teachers to share how to use Canva in the classroom. I did come from the classroom. I taught for 15 years, mostly in middle school and high school ELA. So I see some ELA and some middle school, high school teachers in the chat. Love it. Wide variety in the chat. Also love that. I'm so excited to show how students of all ages can use Canva. I've been using Canva with students since 2014, so long before Canva for Education, and it's been amazing to see it really grow and change over the past 4 years. I always share some of my favorite sort of graphics or fun tips, and so we're getting into fall. I guess we're already in fall, and so these are some of my favorite little fall graphics, and these are the search terms. We are going to dive into graphics today, so these are my little 3D Halloween. I don't know why I love the little 3-dimensional graphics. I think this one kind of looks like frosting. And I also love our watercolor selection. I love the little hedgehog and the watercolor style. So those are my 2 fun ones for the season as well. All right, we did the poll, so we're going to skip that one. I'm just going to very, very briefly, it sounds like there's a lot of new people in the chat, talk about what Canva is. So Canva at its core is a visual communications platform. So anything you want to create or communicate visually, you can do that in Canva. And Canva's mission is to empower everyone to create, collaborate, and communicate in the classroom and beyond. So turning teachers into creators and students into creators in an easy-to-use space. But what makes Canva different from other tools is that we really believe the skills that students learn go beyond the K-12 space. So you as a creator, students as creators, we're building all of these amazing tools in students. It fosters those 21st century learning skills like teamwork, communication, creativity, collaboration, all of those wonderful things. All right, this is where I'm going to hop right out of Canva and hop out of my slides and right on into Canva. So if you are logged in and able to follow along, this is going to be really helpful. The first thing that you'll notice when you log in, it should look something like this when you log into Canva. In the upper right-hand corner of Canva, it's important that you see the name of your school in this upper right-hand corner. So it's important you see the name of your school here. That is going to show that you are in your school team. What a common concern is that if you're creating in this school team, that people are going to see what you're creating, and that's not true. So even though you're creating in the school team, every design is private to you unless you choose to share it. And you can't even accidentally share it with the whole team, even if you wanted to. So you do want to make sure that you see the name of your school up there so that you're working in that school team. You have all the right features. You'll be connected to your students if they're creating in Canva, things like that. So that's number 1. You want to make sure you see that. If you log into the district portal, it should put you in the correct team. And then the other thing I want to highlight is a lot of times I see people log into Canva and they look right here on this main page for the designs that they have created. Sometimes you'll find them, but sometimes they're out of order. You may not see the one you're looking for. So over here on the left, you have a projects tab with a folder icon. This projects tab is like your Google Drive or your Drive for Canva. So your Canva Drive is where everything is going to save. So any template that you open, even if you make no edits, every project that you create, anything that's been shared with you, everything is always going to save right here to the projects tab. In that projects tab, you can create folders to keep yourself organized. You can have folders in folders, things like that. You'll also see designs not in folders, and then any images, video, or audio that you may have uploaded. So again, just like your Google Drive or your OneDrive, it's like your Canva Drive. Under projects in the upper right-hand corner, you have a plus sign. This is where you can create those folders. This is also where you can upload or import directly from Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox. You can bring in slides. So you can bring in PowerPoints or Google Slides. You can bring in documents, Google Documents or Word documents, and you can bring in PDFs and they become fully editable and fully customizable in Canva. So again, projects, the plus sign, you can either download and then upload them or import them directly from Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox. You can bring in slides, PDFs, documents, and then use Canva's tools to continue to edit and reimagine those documents and designs. So great tips there. We also have a full template library and you can search for templates. Canva has over 80,000 education-specific templates and over 3 million templates available to you, all 100% free. So absolutely anything you can imagine, you can search for in templates. Things like graphic organizers, brainstorms, mind maps, presentations, absolutely anything you can imagine, you have a template for it in Canva. But for today, just for the sake of time and a little bit of ease, I'm going to give you a template and we're going to create together alongside each other. So we're going to drop a link in the chat for you. If you've already logged in, this should be pretty quick and easy, but you're going to get a link in the chat. When you click on that link, it's going to look like this. It's going to open and look like this. Your purple button is going to look a little different though, because I own this template. So your purple button is going to say use template for a new design. So you're going to click that purple button and it's going to make you a copy of that design. Oops, I don't want to edit. I need to make a copy of my own. Otherwise you'll get all of my edits. Let me use template for a new design. It's going to make you a copy. So we'll give you just a minute. Again, there's a link in the chat. If you grab that link, if you're logged into Canva, it should automatically make you a copy. If you were not already logged in, it might run you through that login process. If you're unable to edit it, it might be because you're not logged in. So just a couple of troubleshooting tips there. But it's going to help us kind of work together. And we're not collaborating. This is your own individual design. So no worries on that. But it'll give us a space to kind of work through.
I was also going to say, Janice, forgive me for interrupting. I was going to share in the beginning, you may want to open YouTube in one window and the Canva in a different window and resize the windows so you can see the YouTube screen and also the Canva screen side by side on your display. Or if you are doing two displays, you can do YouTube on one, Canva on the other. That way you can play along with Janice as well.
Yeah. And yes, really great question in the chat. Yes, this is a good way where if you had something that you wanted all of your students to have a copy of, you could give them the template link. We'll end today with a little bit of ways to share since we have so many brand new users. I'll make sure to end with sharing, publishing, those types of things. But yeah, one way you could get designs to your students if you want them to have their own copy is through the same type of link that I just shared with you. Absolutely. Okay, so for today, we're just going to work through these slides. We may not get through all of them. We'll see how far we get today. If you are brand new to Canva, please take this at your own pace. If you want to just I'm going to show you kind of the basics, and then I might show a little bit more of an advanced tip and trick. If you want to stick with the basics, that is fantastic. Again, you'll have this on a replay. Please move along at the pace that you feel most comfortable. I will make sure to touch on all the areas so those who are brand new have an idea of what's available, and those who have used it have a little bit more advanced tips. So we will dive right in. So when you have your template, we are going to move right on over to page 2. When you have a design open in Canva, you have a slide in the center and you have this panel over here on the left. So one quick tip with the panel, if you hover over the tabs on the left, the panel will pop itself out. And then as soon as you come away from it, it pops itself back in. Canva did that recently as a way to give you more space to design without the panels being in the way. But sometimes you want that panel to stay open. So a quick tip with that is if you click on the icon on the left, this panel will pin itself open and it will stay open until you click it again or X out. So again, I can click on the icon and the panel will stay open instead of disappearing all the time. So just a quick tip there. So the first tab in our design is just design. That's our template library. We're going to start in elements today. So we're going to click on elements on the left. And elements is where we kind of live when we're creating in Canva. The majority of things we add to a design come from that elements tab. So we're going to spend a little time in here today. So on page 2, we are going to talk about lines and shapes. So we're going to click on elements. Under elements, you're going to see a lot of different sections. The first one is things that you've recently used. The second section is shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on shapes. So again, I'm under elements and shapes. These are our basic shapes and lines. So these are lines and arrows and all of our kind of basic shapes. What's great about these shapes is when you add them to your page, you have a little more flexibility as far as the customization of the dimensions, meaning I can make this any size and any dimension that I want it to be. So again, if I add a shape, I can control the dimensions of that shape, a little bit more customization compared to our graphics. All of our shapes have text boxes built right in, so you can type right in there as well. Excuse me. At the top, you'll notice this toolbar is actually a kind of a smart toolbar, and it will adapt depending on what is on your page. So if you click on your shape, you'll notice you can change the shape here as well. I can also change the color of that shape. I have all sorts of colors and palettes and even some gradients at the bottom. I love a good gradient. I get made fun of on my team all the time, but I can change my color here. I can add a border. That's what these lines in the top are. So I can add different borders in there, different styles, things like that. And then let me actually grab a different shape. For something like a square where it's got more of those harder corners, I can also round the corners. That's what this is. So if I want to make that a little more rounded, I can. And then I can also change the font because, again, if you double click on a shape, you can type right in it. So here is the font, the size of the font, the color, things like that. So again, shapes and lines, I can kind of customize the dimensions, the color, the border, all of those things. So that's kind of our level 1 basics. Again, there's lots of great ones, speech bubbles, arrows, quick banners for things, all sorts of options. And then kind of the next level advanced tip is a feature that's a little bit hidden in Canva. So if you add your shape to the page, and again, you can double click and type right in it. If you click on your shape, you also have a smaller floating toolbar here. At the end of the smaller floating toolbar, if I click on those 3 dots and I go down to the bottom, I have an option that says Enable Quick Flow. When I choose Enable Quick Flow, I get these arrows. When I click on the arrows, it'll attach another shape directly to the first one. So I can make flow charts, I can make brainstorms and mind maps and timelines, all sorts of things. I know there's not a lot of space on these pages, but you could easily kind of create a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and attach those shapes. Yes, amazing for brainstorming. So I'll show that again. I'm going to turn this one off. You can always disable it too. And then I'll show you an even more fun trick with that. I'm going to add my shape. If I add a border to that shape, again, that line kind of icon is the border. I can change the border color. I love to make it a gradient. And then if I, again, smaller floating toolbar, sometimes it shows up at the top or the bottom. Under the 3 dots, scroll down to Enable Quick Flow. The arrows pop up. I click on the arrow, and if you add a border, your line will match the border, which is pretty cool. So I can add more shapes that are attached to this first one here. Again, double clicking in the shape will allow you to type right in the shape, and double clicking on the arrow will allow you to add text right to the line as well. So you can show how ideas are connected. You have a little more flexibility. Again, really quick and easy ways to build charts and brainstorms and timelines and mind maps. If I click on my line, I also have some customization if I want a straight line or a curved line. If I want to get rid of the arrows and just have lines, you have kind of all of those options. So again, that quick flow gives you the ability, double clicking in the lines will add text, double clicking in the shape will add text to the shape. Okay, we're going to give you, I'm going to be quick because I know we're a little tight on time today. I'm going to give you 1 quick minute on this one to kind of play around, try those shapes, see what you come up with, and then we'll keep going. So I'm going to give you 1 quick minute to try that out, and then we'll move on. I love the question in the chat. How did I get to my timer? That's a great question. Absolutely. You can access the timer in 2 ways, in presentations and whiteboards. So you're in a presentation template, slide template right now. Presentations and whiteboard templates. So Canva has whiteboards that are more of that infinite space. They live here. So if you're following along in the same template as I am, along in that bottom toolbar here, you'll see a little icon that says timer. And then you can change the minutes, the seconds. We actually have 5 sounds. The sound you're hearing is not coming from my timer because I can't share my sound, but you can play around with those as well. And so that is one way that you can get to timers in presentations and whiteboards. How do you move the shape on the slide? So if you click on the shape, so sometimes if you click off the shape, so click into a blank part of the page, click back on the shape and just hold and drag, and it will move around that shape, whether it's attached or not. So that's a good way. Yep. So just click and hold, or click and then drag, hold and drag it around. Perfect. Awesome. All right, we're going to go on to slide 3. So we're still under elements and we're under shapes. So we're going to back out using that back arrow at the top. We're going to go back to our main elements page here. So we're going to back out so it looks just like this. If you're not sure, you can always X out of it, come back in it, clear it out a little bit. So we went through shapes and lines. That was the first one. Now we're going to dive here into graphics. So under elements, we're going to go down to graphics, and we're going to click on graphics here. There are over 100 million elements in Canva. So that's things like graphics, photos, videos, audio, all sorts of things. So under elements, you have a couple of suggestions here, but you can search for absolutely anything and you are going to find it. So a couple tips and tricks with graphics. I'm going to search something really simple. Maybe I want to add, this is my go-to search, but maybe I want to add hearts to my design. When I search on hearts, you have all of these options here. So you'll see all different kinds of styles, all different kinds of options. You'll have animated graphics, you have non-animated graphics, lots and lots of different things. So again, elements, graphics, I searched hearts, and you'll notice as you scroll, there's lots of different options in here. Anything animated, you're going to have a little less customization, meaning I can't change the colors or anything, but I can move it around and resize it. Anything more complex like this, also probably not going to be able to change the colors, but it can move around and resize. Most things, not everything, but most things fairly simply that are kind of solid color. When I add it to my design, you'll notice in the top, just like with shapes, I get these color blocks, meaning I can change the colors. So I can, change the colors of the hearts here. I can pick and choose what colors I want them to be, so I can move through and change them all if I want to, things like that. So again, if it's solid color, when you click on it, if you see those color blocks, you're going to be able to change the colors. To resize graphics, you just use the white dots in the corner to drag and resize them, and then you can move them around. So that's kind of the basics of Elements. Again, you can search, you can scroll, you can find different things. If you add it to the page and you see the color blocks, you're able to change the colors, things like that. And then my sort of advanced tip and trick with graphics is you can be really specific in your searches. So if I, kind of like I said in the beginning, my 2 favorite search terms right now, one of them is 3D Halloween. So I can search 3D science, 3D math, 3D hearts, 3D animals, 3-dimension, that is a kind of adjective and a descriptive search term. So I love our 3D Halloween ones. I like our 3D graphics, period. They're my favorite. 3D animals are really cute. This is the little ghost I had earlier. This little bat guy is pretty cute too. So again, 3D is a fun search term. Watercolor. I searched watercolor fall, but again, watercolor hearts, watercolor stars, painted stars, doodle, sketch, neon, whatever you can imagine. Using those descriptors in the graphics, if you want a chalkboard theme, is going to help you kind of keep on whatever theme you want to create. I just love these. I think they're so pretty. I like this one. So again, using those words, you can really drill down in the search term under Elements and graphics to find exactly what you're looking for. So having some fun. Neon is another favorite search term of mine. I love our neon graphics. They look like neon signs, kind of glowing and fun. Okay. So let's see where we're at with time. Okay, we still got a little bit of time. So again, you can kind of have some fun with the searches. The last thing I'll share, and then I'll give you about a minute to try this out too, is under Elements and under graphics. If you are brand new, I would stick to just kind of searching, trying your search terms, see what happens. If you've been using Canva for a while, this is kind of an advanced tip. Under Elements and graphics, I can search the word letters with an S, and I get these letter collections. So I can, again, also use those descriptors. So I can say animal letters, or, fall letters, or balloon letters, whatever it might be. You can do this next tip with things that are not letters, and I'll show you both. But if you find some letter collections you like and you want to spell out a word, have some fun with a presentation title, when you hover over a graphic in Canva, in the upper right corner, you have these 3 dots. Under those 3 dots, you have a little menu that pops up. You can star and favorite things. You can add them to a folder. And then sometimes you'll have an option to view a whole collection. Not always, but with letters, you typically do. So now here's a whole collection of those bumblebee letters where I could use to spell out a word. So again, it doesn't have to be letters. I think these ones have a collection. If I go back into my 3D Halloween, I find my little ghost that I like. Again, 3-dot menu. This one has a collection as well. So if I want to find things that are in the same theme or the same style, I can do the same thing. So again, 3-dot menu, view collection. So it's sort of the advanced tip and trick in there. Okay, let's take one quick minute and create. There's some really great questions in the chat about sharing to Google and how to use things in Google Slides. Hold those thoughts. I think I'll cover a lot of that at the end. And then I think we'll answer a lot of that when we get towards the end and talk about sharing. So hold those thoughts on that. All right, let's take 1 minute and play around in graphics, and then we'll move on. All right, two things. I have never thought to search yoga poses in Elements, so shout out to that. I learned something new today. I think that's amazing. I love that. I love when I find new things to search for. And then about locking things, can you lock down letters so they're in the same layer? You can lock anything in your design. When you click on your object, so you could do it one at a time. So if I clicked on, we'll pretend these are my letters. Lock is under this 3-dot menu right here. If I click and hold and drag, I can select multiple things. So if I had a row of letters, I could group those together, which would put them in the same layer. And then I could also lock them. So again, individually, you can, oh, look, it pops up in my smart toolbar. These toolbars are getting smarter and smarter. I can lock it right here, and then I can click and hold, select multiple things, group, and lock at the same time. Great question. All right, we are back under Elements, so we're going to back out of graphics. We're going to go on to our next slide. We are going to scroll down in Elements towards the bottom. We are going to scroll down until we see the section that says Frames. So under Elements, we're going to scroll down till we see Frames. These are in a lot of our templates. Great question in the chat too. I'm going to pause and answer that. If there's not a collection option, it just means there's not a collection. There's not always a collection. It's just sometimes there is. So if it doesn't say view collection, see more like this may show you things that are similar, and there may be some more in there, but there just may not be a whole collection. Really great question. All right, under Elements, when I scroll down, I get to a section that says Frames. We also have grids that look similar. There are a lot of frames in our templates, especially if there's photos already in a template. So I like to highlight these. When I click on Frames, I have so many options in here. I have some basic shapes. I also have things that look like film and photo, devices like iPads, cell phones, laptops. This one has flowers and blobs. I have letters and numbers, which I think are really fun. And again, kind of some simple shapes. So I have like a circle or a heart. We can go back to our heart theme. So again, I can make these a little bit bigger and smaller. Anytime I see this cartoon landscape, it is looking for a photo or a video to snap into that shape. So under Elements, I was under Frames, so I picked a few, added them to the page. I'm going to use that back arrow and back out of Frames. I'm going to go up, and we have that full photo library and a full video library here. So I can go into Photos and search for something. Maybe I'll just grab this football one. I can drag this over the top, and it's going to snap right into that frame. I can do the same thing in video. I can go into video. I can grab a video, drag it over the frame, and it's going to snap right in and play within that shape. So it's a little shark in there. So photos and videos will snap into these shapes. My favorite little kind of advanced tip is to search in videos or photos for something like flames, glitter, I don't know, lava, bubbles, confetti, stuff like that. And then you can take those and fill in like a number or a letter and have some really fun. You can make a numbered list with some fun animated numbers. You can spell out a word with some animated, with the animated video in there too, and have a little bit of fun with it. So again, photos and videos snap into those shapes. And we have that full photo and video library under Elements. The other trick with frames is if you double click on a frame, once the photo's in there, you can actually move which part of the photo is being shown in the frame. So again, just a quick double click will let you kind of move and adjust which part of the photo or the video is being shown in the frame. So again, you have frames, and then you have those photos and videos that you can search and add things to those frames. It could be something, or it could be a pattern or an object, and it will fill in those frames. So those are some quick tips there. I'm actually going to do 4 and 5 together, and then I'll give you time to try. Well, how do I get to glitter? I just went to Elements. I go down to videos or photos, and I search glitter under videos. I pick which one I want. Try this one. Drag it over the top, and it will play in the frame. So glitter's a fun one. Flames is fun. Bubbles, confetti, all sorts of fun ones in there. Ooh, mine's running a little slow today. That's okay. So I'm going to go on to 5. I know I'm going a little quick, but I want to make sure to squeeze in a few more. And then you guys can play with both of these together. So 5 is going to talk about magic media. So what's interesting is you'll notice I actually lost my magic media. Sometimes mine disappears. I don't know why. So I am going to, I'm going to combine this one and the next one. Perfect. Those are great time. I am going to X out of my panel and go back into elements, and my magic media comes back. I don't know why it disappears. So under elements, if you don't see a section that says AI image generator, X out of the panel, click back on elements, and it will come back. And so under AI image generator, you can actually generate your own images to put in the frames. So you can choose generate your own. You can type in 5 or more words, give it a fun description, and generate your own images to put into the frames. So you can, I'll do a quick one. So I could generate, maybe I want, let's see, maybe I want dogs having a tea party in the garden. I don't know. I'm not very creative on the spot, but I could put in anything I want, and I could have a little bit of fun, and it's going to generate me some pictures. I try to get 5 or more words in there. The more descriptive you are, obviously, the better. These are pretty cute. Okay, well, these are cute. I like this one. So I could add this to my page. Here's my cute little dogs having a garden tea party, or I could also pop that into a frame. And then great question on the left, you do also have uploads where you can upload your own pictures, video, or audio to put into the frames. So pictures and video, you can go to uploads on the left, upload your own. If you use the AI image generator and the magic media, and you add the image to the page, it will save it for you under your uploads as well. This one's pretty cute. Here's a little otter eating pizza on a playground. So again, you could have some fun with those AI images, add them to the frame, go into uploads, upload your own, and play around with those as well. So I'm going to give you 1 quick minute to test those out. Again, I know we're going really quickly, but I think we're going to, for the sake of time, we'll give you 1 quick minute to try out frames or magic media or upload your own, and then we'll keep going. All right. So just a quick recap, because I know that was kind of quick. And again, I know you'll have this recording to go back to. Under elements, you can choose frames, which have the cartoon landscape. Grids are similar. They're more like collage style, where you can plug multiple into a grid. Anytime you have those cartoon landscapes, it's looking for photos and videos, and you have that full photo and video library that you can search in. Again, 100 million elements in Canva. You are bound to find something that you can add to a design. Under elements, you also have the AI image generator, where you can generate your own, play with the styles, have a little bit of fun there. And so, yeah, lots of great options. Again, all of that was under elements. So that's what I love about Canva, is there's so much all in one easy space. So everything we just looked at, all of it is right here, super easy to find. So those are some great quick tips. I'm going to skip around a little, so I'm going to apologize, but I'm going to actually hop over to slide 7 really quickly just because we were talking about uploads. So I want to come back to this really fast. So I hopped over to 7. Apologies for skipping around. Under uploads, where you can upload your own pictures, video, or audio, you can upload your own to bring into a design. So that is a really great option to be able to bring in pictures and video, things you've recorded and saved. Also, if you use the AI image generator, it will save those things here. But you can also record yourself right in Canva. So this is one of the best buttons in Canva that gets so hidden. So under uploads, you can choose record yourself. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh yeah, it does. I'm like, don't ignore my background. You can record yourself and your screen, or just your screen in Canva. So I can hop right in here, hit record. I have filters. I have some skin smoothing. Who doesn't need that once in a while? I can turn the camera off and just record my voice. It will leave an icon here, but you can get rid of that later. So I can just hop in. I went to uploads, record myself. I just hit record. It counts me down. Super easy. So right now I'm just recording over the slide. I can navigate between my slides and keep talking if I want to. When I'm done, I just choose done and save. And then it will drop it right on the page. It knows where I changed pages, and it will break that video apart for me. So that's the best part. If you record over 8 slides, 10 slides, a couple slides, however many, and you mess up somewhere, you don't have to start over and re-record and all of that. You just delete the one you messed up on. Oops, not the whole slide. You just delete the one you messed up on. It isn't a frame. And you re-record the one slide. So uploads, record yourself, super easy to be able to hop in, just hit record, it counts you down. It saves those videos under your recordings here as well. So it saves them so that you can always come back to those here. So upload, record yourself, super easy to be able to hop in and verbally share things, give instructions, whatever it might be. And then you have the video. So it just pops right in here. So upload, record yourself. All right. I know we're hopping around for the sake of time, so I'm going to try to squeeze in one more, and then we'll talk about sharing and publishing. And then if we have time at the end, I'll come back. But that's uploads, record yourself. I am going to go to slide 8. So I'm going to apologize. I know I skipped one, but we're going to go over to slide 8. We are going to talk about draw on the left over here. There is a draw tab in Canva. You can choose your pen, choose the color, choose the pen weight, things like that. And then I can just handwrite and draw over any design. So I can highlight, we can marker draw or pen draw, and you can draw anything that you want. You can, if you draw a shape, if you hold at the end and don't let go, it will kind of snap and clean up into that shape. So it'll kind of snap in there. It works with lines and arrows. They'll kind of snap and clean up into those shapes. That was pretty good. I didn't think I was going to know that one. Sometimes it doesn't know what I'm drawing. But anything that you draw, even if it's just a drawing, a squiggle, whatever it might be, becomes a shape. So I can adjust the dimensions. I can change the color, things like that. So all of these become shapes. I can move and adjust them as needed. But you can handwrite. You can do this with a touchscreen panel, with an iPad, with your trackpad on a mouse. Doesn't matter. You can draw with just about anything. And it will allow you to draw. So draw, and it's available in all of our design types, meaning presentations, whiteboards, videos, you name it, draw is in all of them. All right. I want to talk sharing and publishing because I think that's where most of the questions come from. And if we have time, I'll hop back and do one quick more slide. But I want to talk a little bit about that sharing piece since we do have so many new people on the call. So everything you're going to do is going to live under share. So I know most of us are using Google Classroom, but I want to talk through all the different ways you can share things. So when you click on share, you have a bunch of options. You can type in someone's name and share directly with them. We do not recommend having students share with you that way. Your Canva is going to get so full of their designs and you can't get rid of them because you don't own them. So we definitely don't recommend having students type in your name and share that way. You could share like with a colleague or something else, somebody on your team. But link sharing is going to be your friend. So I highly recommend using links. That's the easiest way to share. So you would go to, so again, every design is private to you, only you can access. When you drop this down, you have a couple options. You have an option that says the name of your school team. So this is my school team. So I can change this so anyone in my school can edit if I wanted to work together. It does not make it discoverable. So it does not automatically open up access to anyone. You have to give them the link. So anyone in my school can edit. If I shared this link with another teacher, we could collaborate together. I could put this link in my Google Classroom and all of my students could click it once you have student access. And then you would be able to collaborate with your students, things like that. So anyone can edit in your school. The third option you have is anyone with the link can edit. So if you work at this elementary school and somebody works at this elementary school and you want to work together, you would take this, anyone with the link can edit, copy that, email that to somebody or share it with them however you communicate with them. They click on it and you're able to collaborate together. So again, this one's going to lock you into that same school team. This one is going to allow you with anyone with a Canva account is going to be able to edit together. So that's kind of the key with the link sharing. If you're collaborating, again, this is the collaboration link. If you want to print what you've created, you would, or use it somewhere else, you can download it. So you would download it as a PDF and print from the download. You can also download things as MP4 video. If you have video things in there, you can download them as GIF files. If you have some animation and you want to make it animated, things like that. And then under share, actually a couple other things I want to highlight. One last piece. Somebody asked about being able to put what you create in Canva into a Google slide. You don't necessarily need to because you can present right from Canva. So you could just build your slides right in Canva. If you try to transfer them back out to Google Slides, often you'll lose some of the font and the animations and things that you may have added. So you can actually just present directly from Canva, keep it right in Canva without needing to move it back to Google. If it's just a static image, again, you could download that as an image and upload that into Google Slides. But really, if you're just creating presentations, you can leave them right in Canva. Under share and see all, we are going to talk through a few of these. So there's a couple important ones in here. One of them is template link. Template link forces a copy for anyone who has that link. So I shared a template link with you for this template. You made your own copy. You had your own version. So template link forces a copy. Public view link is a published version of your design. So if you're going to share something and you just want someone to look at it, families, students, maybe you create a newsletter, whatever it might be, public view link is like a published version of your design. So when you click on public view, you can create that link and then you can share that through email, share that wherever you Google Classroom, and it's going to be kind of like this published version. What's great is this link is always live. So if you update your slides, that will automatically update. You don't have to reshare it. So again, template link forces a copy, public view, published version, live link though. And then under share, you also have a Google Classroom option under see all, where you can push out a view version to, oh, I don't know, apparently I have to re-sign in. Okay, well, you can. I'll talk you through it. Apparently I'm not signed in and I don't know why. You can go to Google Share, see all, Google Classroom. Normally it will ask you to pick your class, and then it will give you 4 options. It will say assignment, material, announcement, or question. You can choose, material or announcement, and it will just put in a view version of your design. Or again, you can always link share. Link sharing tends to be the easier one, but that is how some different ways you can do that. Yeah, great questions. And I know we're going to address the student side of it. Just know that often students have limited sharing capabilities. You can share to and from Google Classroom for assignments. If students had access, you could share an assignment. Students can share it back to Google, things like that. But that's a little different depending on what you're creating. Those are kind of the ins and outs of sharing. Again, links are going to be your friend. So you can download things. But again, you can always leave things directly in Canva and present right from Canva as well. Yeah. All right. We have about 4 minutes. I'm going to pause. If there's questions around, I'm keeping an eye on the chat and I haven't seen. If there's questions around that sharing piece, drop those in the chat and I'll try to answer those. I think for the sake of today, because we have so many new users, I'm going to end with a little Canva magic. So this is one of my favorite parts of Canva. So again, just like I said, you can present directly from Canva, so you don't have to put it back in Google. And one of the things that sets us apart from other presentation tools is when you present, you can either, if you're in a slide, go to present full screen. But you can do this in any design. So maybe you made a newsletter. Maybe you made a really visual checklist for your students or something like that. I can go down in any Canva design to the bottom right corner, and there's these little double arrows. When I click on those double arrows, it's going to put us into like full screen present mode as well. And when you're in full screen present mode, you can press certain keys on your keyboard and certain things will happen. And I will show you them all at the end. I know you're not going to be able to hear them, but they do have sound effects that go with them too. But you can do things like blur your screen so that you can blur. So maybe you want students to focus on you for a moment and then you can unblur. You can, this is my favorite, give yourself some confetti. And again, I know it's got sound effects, but I know you can't hear this stuff with them. You can give your, which is fun. This one always feels a little random, but we do have bubbles. You need a moment for the bubbles. You could start with these curtains. It does cheer for you. The sound effect is like cheering. So if you wanted to start, it will cheer for you. If kids are talking while you're presenting, you can shush them. Kids figured this one out pretty quick, but you can end with a mic drop, which is fun. And then earlier, people asked about the timer in presentations and whiteboards. It's in that bottom toolbar. In any other design type, when you're in present mode, if you press any number, you can actually get a timer in any design up here. Same thing, we have those 5 sounds. I can change the minutes, the seconds, things like that. I can't move it. I can't make it bigger or anything like that. It just sits right here, but it is a visual cue and it is a timer that will count down for you. So that is a great, quick, easy way to do it, to have timers. So when you're in full screen present mode, along the bottom, you have this keyboard icon. Under that keyboard, these are the letters you press to get those actions. So C is confetti, Q is quiet, things like that. And then any number gives you a timer. So again, full screen, keyboard, those are our Canva magic. All right, I think that wraps up for me. I don't see too many other questions around sharing that haven't already been answered, but happy to answer anything else. And I know there's a few more comments from the tech team. But otherwise, I know it was fast and furious, y'all, so apologies for that.
No, that was fantastic, Janice. Thank you so much. I love the template. It's nice and easy to go through. And the beautiful thing is everyone can go back if they want to that template, watch the video again, pause in points they may need to pause in, and go from there. So thank you so much for that. We do appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And for the rest of everyone else, we do have a couple of announcements, as Kathy alluded to in the chat. We did finally get student access for Canva. So we will be doing more of that on the November PD day. So we do have a Canva presentation that day. working with students. So that's gonna be the big focus of that day. Until then, there's a communication hopefully going out this week, maybe next week, to your principals, and then it will be available in the student portals as well. So that's exciting news as well. For those of you who joined us without going through ELM, if you do want to get points for this session, you do have to register for this course in ELM by the end of the day today. So you can just go to our website, which is edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org, and click on that on the left-hand side there, e-learning courses, and find Canva and enroll in the course. And then there's an implementation for today. Enrollment closes today at midnight, and then the implementation is due in December. Like I said, we are going to have more Canva presentations in November on that PD day. And this recording, again, will be available on our channel, just as though all of the other trainings from this morning are available on our YouTube channel right now. If you click the word EdTech Team down there below with our little logo, it'll take you to our channel, and it will have all of the videos from this morning there already. And you can also access them by going to the website edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org, going to the calendar and clicking in there and clicking on to watch the recording. And I also see that we have some people sharing in the chat. Please feel free to stay in touch with us. If you didn't get the email for this training, you might want to sign up for our mailing list. We email out every once in a while whenever we have trainings coming up. Last year, we were actually able to do some paid training, so that's also a possibility this year. So stay in the loop with that mailing list. You can also follow us on Twitter, share what you're doing in your classroom. And we are also excited to announce that we have a save the date for our technology conference. February 24th, 2025 is going to be our technology conference. It is going to be at the new Joaquin Garcia High School. And so we would love to see you join us there. It's a PD day as well. Registration will go live in January, but we will start putting our keynote and featured speakers and vendors on the site very soon. We've already been planning for a few months for that as well. So we are excited to see you for that training. And so on behalf of myself and the entire EdTech team as a whole, I want to thank you for joining us today for this training. Please never hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to assist in any way we can. And if we can't find the answer, we will hopefully connect you with someone who can. You can feel free to email any of us on the team, multiple of us on the team, and we will get you an answer as soon as we can. Don't forget to like this video down below and subscribe to the channel. And we hope to see you either at 1 or 1:30 for Conmigo Secondary or Brain Pop. Until then, have a great day and enjoy your week. Bye, everyone.